dreams. Boys and girls, step right up and see a true freak, a real me. Oh, step up, step right up and see me. See the tattooed lady, man whose mind is a house of horrors.
This is the way I begin my bally in my private sideshow, this clandestine 10-in-1. A maid freak, my alienation, my invisible conjoined twin, connected at the heart, brain, gut, lung. If I kill her, it'll kill me, but no one else can see her unless I part the curtain, give the audience a backstage peek. Oh, my chimerical sister, my metaphor, myself. It's no metaphor to say there's something different about me, something hooked in my chromosomes, twisted through my DNA. The doctor knew it when he wrenched me out, red and shrieking. How? Did he see a flash, a vestigial tail coiled below my spine, the shadow of horns beneath the ridge of my brow? Perhaps he glimpsed the boy hidden inside the plastic girl shell of my heart. He grabbed my throat and yelled, "It's a lusus naturae!" And by the time I turned 3, I knew I was one. A strange little boy, girl, alive. Why? You're here to gape at me and my ghost twin. You don't care that the Fiji mermaid might be a gaff, or that the 4-legged girl might be 2 girls hiding one behind the other. So long as the shock is real, the danger is imminent. You don't mind a little illusion so long as it makes for a good story. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's cutting up jackpots. So let me tell you a secret. All of this is fiction. All of this is true. By the time I was 12, I'd run away with my first circus. And every time the one I was running with burned up or shut down, I found another one to join. And here I am now talking to you. So come on, don't be shy. I won't bite. Step right up. In this tent you'll find the bird girl, cuckoo girl, the seal girl of Coney Island, the woof girl, girl who bites the heads off rubber chickens, the magician's lovely assistant. See how calm she stays as night after night he disappears her appendages one by one. Look, Ma, no head, no hands. Oh, step right up and see the ripped dress debutante, the hoochie-coochie burlesque girl, the broad with the Mae West bod hidden beneath her skirt, the good girl gone so very bad. She was Snow White, but she drifted. See the tramp, the pigeon-toed chaplain girl, the sad clown girl, confetti tears smearing her grease-painted face, the girl with the Peter Lorre eyes. She doesn't act, she just makes faces. See the snake charmer, sword swallower, contortionist, the girl gone pincushion, the glass dancing girl, the woman strapped to the target surrounded by knives. See the half-girl and her boy self too. See the girl on fire, flame breather, gasoline gobbler, the girl on the burning tightrope. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Step right up before she goes up in smoke, our circus Cinderella. See the electric woman. She's been struck by lightning 7 or 8 times, and now her body carries more electricity than a city power plant. Watch the sparks course through her veins. Watch her light a neon bulb with just one touch of her electric tongue. See the lonely woman with her babies floating in their glass coffins, the cursed woman in her cage, the loneliest woman on earth. Do you have the courage to kiss her and try to break her curse? Oh, step right up and see me, touch me, love me, if you dare. Okay, so for some reason it's not connecting me to live chat, and that was a whole part of my plan here for the Q&A and the giveaway. Here, people. I've never done live streaming before, so please stand by. Let me just see if I can do something. Yeah, still not live chat. Okay, new plan. If you got this link through my Twitter or Facebook, you can tweet or Facebook questions at me. I will check them on my phone and try to answer from there. So how the giveaway is going to work is that anyone who asks me a question will get entered into a drawing to win a signed copy of my new book, The Loneliest Show on Earth, out from Bottlecap Press today. I have 3 copies to give away for this, so yeah, whoever asks me a question, I'll enter you into the giveaway. Obviously, I would appreciate, whoever wants to buy a copy. That would be great as well, because that helps me out a lot. I will share the link on here later. I don't know how to do that either. But anyway, so yeah, on Twitter or Facebook, you can ask me questions, since you can't do it here for some reason. Just either about the book, specifically my writing in general, circus, anything related to that kind of stuff. And I will answer some, and then I'll read a little bit more from the book. Okay. No questions yet, because I think there's like a delay here happening. And then I will... Here, I'm going to try the live chat again. Okay. I was somehow able to type something in the chat. So if you can and I can see them, you can ask me questions there too. In the meantime, I will just read some more. My one true lover. It's all over now. The circus, the sideshow, all our feats of daring do and fabulous freakery relegated to a few 2-bit tents at the far end of the carnival midway, mutant chickens and rubber snake handlers. So I roam the frayed edges of this country, chasing the scraps of what once was. Now I'm in Baraboo, the original wintering quarters of the Ringling Brothers, and God, no wonder all the Cirkies retire to Florida now. Wisconsin is so cold half the year. In the summer months, I pretend I'm you, don my moth-eaten tailcoat, my top hat caving in, do a few card tricks for the visiting families. In winter, I hide out in the Swan bandwagon outside the Golden Ladies with their golden lyres, ride mustachioed crustaceans through the golden waves. Naked cherubs hold the reins. I make up stories about them. Those filigreed women keep me company in the early dark days. My only other visitors are the wind and the ghosts of circus past. The winter wind makes ghosts of everything. I hear a ghost calliope, haunted horse hooves, the faint ghostly clank of roustabouts pounding tent stakes into the ground, and the talkers, oh, they give the bally for acts that ended 100 years ago. Their ghost voices sound like a scratchy phonograph cylinder played through a megaphone. Aside from them, I am all alone. I warm my hands over a single candle. I shiver. It is so cold here. But then it's cold and lonely wherever I go, without you, dear. Oh, hey, a question. All right. Someone's asking, what was the writing process like for this one? How was it different or similar to writing that you've done, like the Sea Love anthology or Reckless Chance? Okay, so this one kind of with Reckless Chance or the Courtney Love anthology, or like chapbook that I did. Obviously, the chapbook had a theme, and so a lot of times my zines have themes, overarching themes per issue, but this one I made much more of a structure before I wrote it. The other, like most of my other stuff, I have like general idea of theme, and I, write poem here or an essay here or whatever, depending on the project, and then kind of edit and to make them more cohesive and gather the ones that, fit the best into that theme. Whereas this one, I actually outlined, which is really, really unusual for me. I outlined it almost like I was writing a novel. So that's the main difference. And then another question was, I know you traveled while writing this. What was your favorite circus travel experience of the thing? I didn't actually travel so much while writing this. I used my old days travel experiences and circus experiences to write this. So as far as the places I mention in here, actually Baraboo, which I just read that little bit about, that used to be the wintering quarters of, Ringling Brothers, and now it's the Circus World Museum is there. And shortly after I finished the book, when I was still like sending it out to different places before it got picked up, I went on a little long weekend vacation with my kids and partner, and we went to we stopped at the Circus World Museum. That was one of our stops, and I hadn't been there in a long time, so it was really cool to go again. And I got to ride on an elephant, which I didn't know was on my bucket list, but it totally was. And then as far as my past experiences that I wrote about in here, Coney Island, I've been there several times. It's been a long time now, but I write a lot about Coney Island in this book, and that's really one of my favorite places in the whole world that I've ever been to. So, speaking of places, here's another excerpt. Dear, I'm writing this from Fishermans Wharf, the salty streets of San Francisco. In any big city, places near the water are the most interesting. All the freaks and scum are here, and I'm just another bit of flotsam washed up on the shore at the end of the world. The seabirds squawk and dive and beg for scraps, and I wear a purple-brown feather in my cap and sing for my supper. Sometimes it's a song and dance routine, sometimes a little sleight of hand, sometimes I'm the psychic throwing tarot cards, handing out cryptic prophecies. It doesn't take much to grift a few bucks from a wide-eyed tourist. Like that old huckster goat once said, there's a sucker born every minute. Guess I'm a sucker too. as I came here searching for something that's long gone by. I dream of dead amusement parks, follow their relics into the fog-dim light of Shed A, Pier 45. The Musée Mécanique, Laughing Sal and her eerie cackle, the player piano forever playing its ghost rag, pinball whiz, and ping. My favorite is the drunkard's dream. The wino in the churchyard looks so much like you, my love. Rumpled gray suit and dented hat, paper pale skin, and oh, those bottles of wine and gin. I wonder if you've ever been there, ever run your fingers across the scarred wood of that machine. I put my quarter in, and the animatronic scene cranks alive. It spooks me every time, recalls too many moments of my own dissolute life. A drunken, not quite sleep in a cemetery, the gaping-mouthed ghouls and smirking devils standing in for any number of personal demons. Sometimes I stop by the fortune-teller's glass case. She gazes into me with her red glowing eyes, waves her mechanical hands over her glowing crystal ball, and my fortune slides out into the metal tray. The embossed black-on-white text always reads the same: "You are greatly troubled by a sense of loss." No shit. Tell me something I don't already know. It's always night when I leave the musée and step back outside, hear the trolley clink by. I look up at the moon hanging over the water and wonder how the same barnacle moon outside over the sourdough fair could look down on, where is it you are now? Somewhere. All your playlands will have to fall eventually and burn again. Oh, hey, another question. I wonder if the structure of this book mirrors the structure of a circus itself in any way. Yes and no. I mean, I kind of do think of each section or chapter as its own act, even though there's different structures. Like, some of them are more me, the speaker, talking to the reader. Others are the speaker interacting with a bearded lady who's also a tarot reader, and then, telling stories of their lives, based on the cards that the bearded lady draws. And then others are like postcards to different people, people that are no longer in the speaker's life. But so even though they have different structures that way, they all, I did put it together like it is various sort of acts in a circus or sideshow. And if you heard me read the very beginning section, which is like the step right up the ballet to like get people into the show, and then the very ending section, if you read the book, is like the curtain call, the end. So, and then there's all the acts in between. Okay. And I got another question. How did you decide which illustrators to work with? Tell us about your illustrations. Well, I worked only with one illustrator, Kylie Lumen, who, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly because I've only ever seen it written. And she did this amazing cover, because I really wanted it to look, inspired by a vintage sideshow poster, specifically with a tattooed lady on it. Say, have you met Lydia? And then she did interior illustrations, kind of like vintage tattoo style, one for each section. And then I requested a couple specifically, like I requested the let me find it. I requested the Three of Swords because well, it's not my favorite tarot card, but it has like the most meaning for me, and it comes up a lot in this book. And then I also requested the, I'm having a hard time finding it now. Oh yeah, I requested the elephant because of Topsy the elephant, who is in this book as well. No, I chose Kylie to work with because I had seen her stuff on Twitter and around, and I just really loved the style, and I thought her style would lend itself well to doing this kind of illustration, and it did. So I made the right choice. Okay, let me check Facebook now. Hey, no. Oh, I guess I got a DM. Sorry we can't do the chat. I don't understand what's happening here. Oh, yes. I did get a question on Facebook. If you see this, could you talk a bit about zines and how long it takes you to put a copy of Reckless Chance together? And also, you write about ghosts quite a bit. What's your take on the supernatural? Okay, so to answer that first question, how long does it take me to put a copy of Reckless Chance together? That really, really depends. I mean, sometimes I go a year or two between issues, but I'm not necessarily compiling, actively working on it the whole time. Sometimes, once I decide I'm putting out a new issue, it's pretty fast because I just kind of collect things I've written in the interim, maybe write a few more, edit, layout, all that. Other times, usually if there's like a specific cohesive theme, that can take sometimes 6 months to a year. Because, some people might think that zines are like these throwaway little self-published things, but I take them very, very seriously. I think I might even be more like of a stickler about my zines and other self-published stuff, because I don't have anyone else like overseeing the process. And then, and the question about ghosts, what's my take on supernatural belief-wise? I'd say I'm a believer and a skeptic, as far as like actual supernatural paranormal ghosts go. I've had strange experiences that, I couldn't, to use paranormal investigator speak, debunk as anything else. But then there's also, I think, a lot of times that people think there's a ghost. It is actually something else. I mean, I write about ghosts a ton, but a lot of it is metaphor. Ghost is metaphor for, people and times in your life that you can't forget, or just the sort of energy of a place where something happened, that kind of thing. Okay. Back to the book. Dear one, I've headed back east and set up camp at Coney Island. I remember holding your hand as our cart reached the top of the Wonder Wheel, how the moon was the color of cheap wine, and so low we could brush her right belly with our salty fingertips. Forget the ring toss, the test your strength. We'd won the whole moon. Plush rabbit moon, Luna Park moon. I could hear the happy shrieks of children, spooky music from the sideshow, the talker for the shoot the freak game. We got a guy, he runs around, you shoot him. And oh, I'd never been gladder in my whole life. I wanted to ride that wonderful, wonderful wonder wheel forever. To tell you the truth, I came here half hoping our paths would cross again, dear. Thought I might catch you ogling the tattooed girls at the sideshow by the seashore. Walking along by the gray sea with a bottle of wine and a plush rabbit, waiting for me, or just grabbing a bite to eat at Nathan's. But I never do. Days I busk for change. I bought a guitar at the Brighton Beach flea market, painted a picture on it of a girl I once loved, oh my Rosa, queen of the Spanish burlesque. I play and sing the blues, the I got my heart nailed by the human blockhead, doggone sideshow blues. I keep my pockets full of candy corn, to feed the gulls and stray dogs of remorse. I spend my nights huddled in the weeds that grow in the shoot the freak pit, the stinging nettles and broken glass, wearing that hobo coat I found the first time I ever visited this broken place, before and after you, dear. No matter how many times I wash it, it still smells like you. Grease paint and turpentine, hot dogs and cotton candy, and a bit of that bum wine, that Mad Dog Night Train. When it rains, I dream of confetti falling from the sky, of you and I waltzing. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. My one true lover. Wave goodbye. Remember, I can't when we met and I winked wanna see Clown Alley and lifted my dress? Making my entrance again. Sorry, my dear. I dream of taking our old act on the road again. Will you go waltzing Matilda with me? Remember when? We were conjoined twins on purpose. You the preacher, and me your dead girl, ragdoll, sister, bride. Stitched together, side by side. You the thaumaturge, and I, at last on the ground, unable to move. Isn't it queer? Where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe next year. This is so awkward. Just like, let me look at my phone while I'm on a video. Somehow I feel much more awkward doing this than I do like reading live on a stage, in front of a bunch of people. Ooh, hey. And another good question. Since tarot is such a theme in the book, what's your favorite tarot deck? I have a lot of favorites. I really, really like the Collective Tarot. That's one of my faves. And lately I've been really into the Rust Belt Tarot, which, surprise! Rust Belt Jessie loves the Rust Belt Tarot. No, I a bunch of people, even not knowing I had it, have sent me links saying, it's like they made it for you. But the one I use the most is the Stretch Tarot. I actually have it in front of me right now. Because it's all like collage-y and vintage and like kind of, a little bit dark. It's very aesthetically pleasing as far as like my my personal aesthetic. Okay, the video will be available to watch again after it's over. In case you really want to see me be awkward on screen again. And okay. I will share the link to where you can buy the book. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna like show you on the screen here. Because again, I've never live streamed before. I don't know how to do the split screen thing. I'm not, I know how to like build a website and do basic. I know how to do video editing, but live streaming is a whole new world that I don't like. Okay. So, no one's going to be able to see that. Oh no. Help me. All right. Is this even like, no, that is not readable at all. All right, you know what? I can't like hold up the link to where you can buy my book. Go to bunkiesbooks.com. That's the home site for, which is BUNKYS books.com. That's the homepage for Bottlecap Press. And with later today or tomorrow, the link to my the purchasing page for my book should be up on the main page. And in the meantime, I've been posting the link to book, the book page on Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr, and I will be posting it on Instagram as well, and on my personal website. And, I'm going to be sharing it around a lot. You'll probably get sick of hearing about it. So you can find the link somewhere. I'm going to see if there are any more questions. And, no, not there. Okay. If there's no more questions, I will read a little bit and then sign off. Mm-hmm. I don't want to read the very last bit because that seems... Here, I'll read a little bit about Topsy the elephant. Go look her up and find out more. It's very tragic, and I love her. Dearest, most beautiful Coney Island baby, come see my newest tattoo. Topsy, the elephant electrocuted at Luna Park for the crime of standing up for herself. She was kidnapped and forced into circus work, mistreated by handlers and gawking crowds alike, and when she retaliated, they murdered her for it. This is America, where they can force a girl to do just about anything but still expect her to smile right through it. Where you have the right to self-defense as long as you're not pachyderm, or woman, or foreign, or other. This America, where some drunk singes you with a cheap cigar and you're executed for killing him. Where they turn a profit charging people to watch you burn. But if heaven is that big top in the sky, then God is an elephant. She never forgets. And with that, I will say adieu. And if you still want to join the giveaway, since the live chat wasn't working and it was all very confusing, if you still want to enter the giveaway, you can still ask me questions about circus, this book, my other writing, whatever, through Twitter or Facebook. If you get it in by midnight-ish my time tonight, then I will put you. I'll answer in some form, and I will enter you into the giveaway. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in, and please, share this, share the link to my book, and thanks for your support.